Hello guys and welcome to the channel. In this video we'll be changing the struts on a 2001 Toyota Corolla. They're the McPherson Struts. The guy McPherson invented them and he wants credit for them, so that's why they're called that, I guess. First thing you want to do is jack up the vehicle and put some safety stands underneath so you can get the wheels off. So there's a nice spot at the back. We're right into it here. Next what we're going to do is take off the end links, and something as simple as an end link can be a pain, especially when it's the Allen key design. I do not like this design because the Allen keys strip out, but if you're careful and you work them back and forth, you can get lucky, and you'll see what happens here.
Go back. Clean it, brake clean, lube it, go again. As far as you can. Yeah, see there, if I keep going, I'm going to strip the Allen out. So now I got to stop. Go back. Cleaning the threads as we go. I ate my own words. I wasn't patient enough. The Allen key, I thought I was close enough to the outside to remove it, but I should have kept going back and forth, and I got it jammed tight. And now I'm trying to, so I stripped the Allen key out. So now I'm trying to use a vice grip, a real vice grip. The name is very important when it comes to vice grips. I'm trying to just put a vice grip on the back and see if I can get it with working it.
So I got lucky on this one with the Allen key situation here. The vice grips held it enough and I was able to actually, as you can see, zip the nut off. And I didn't even really damage that end link. We're going to change these in the future, but they're still salvageable, especially for Mexico down here anyway. For our standards, they will be fine to reuse for now. Okay, next you want to remove the brake line here. And I had a Corolla come in the other day, and somebody, it looks like they had done a cheat on this. So the cheat is that you put a slit in the bracket that's attached to the strut, and that allows you to sneak the brake line out without having to disconnect your brakes. So if you want to do that way, you can. I don't really see why it's a problem, because everything is rigid and flat again once you put the bracket and everything back in. But this is the proper way to do it. I'm going to do it right. So you're gonna have to disconnect the brake line and then knock out the retaining clip, and then the line will pull down and out. Then I'm reconnecting the brake line to itself just to keep the brake fluid from draining down all the way out of the master cylinder.
Squeaky brakes coming in. Yeah, they're still squeaky, Mike. Oh boy. All right. 17s.
Okay, we got the bottom bolts out, so now we need to get to the nuts on the top of the strut tower. So to do that, we have to take the seats out of the way, the seat cushions here. So first, the bottom part of the seat you lift up, pull up really hard, and you'll unclip it, and there's one on each side. And then once you've got that unclipped, you can pull that part of the seat back, which helps you access these 3 bolts through those brackets that are holding in the top part of the seat. So you'll have to take those out, and then you can grab the back of the seat and slide it up, because there's also some hooks at the back, and you'll be able to pull that out of the way, move the seat belts around, and then you can get at the 3 nuts right here.
Now, I can get her out.
Okay, sweet. So we're ready to put the new one in. But first I got to tell you a couple things. You'll notice on some of these aftermarket struts that there's only 2 studs, but you got 2 holes on the other side. So don't freak out at first. You think, hey, they didn't give me a stud, but they'll actually give you a bolt because they use these struts for more than one application. So you'll just put a bolt in the hole that lines up, so no big deal.
So line them up, and you're going to want to rotate the top of your new one to get the studs in the right place so it'll go in easy. There you go. Uh-oh. Better get a nut on there. One-handed, eh?
So you can pull up on the spring while you thread all the nuts down flat and then tighten up the nut. Then using a punch or a screwdriver, it'll really help you to line up these holes. You'll put it in one hole and then you'll pry up and you can get the bolt through. Or you can also use a pry bar from underneath and move that lower arm and wiggle it around, and you'll be able to get the holes to line up.
Right.
I'm cleaning up the stud to put the end link back in. I am reusing it in this case. I'll be changing it at another date, but it's a good idea to put new ones in if you're doing all this work and if yours are old anyhow. Okay, now we're ready to put the brake line back in. Now there are flat sides on this line, so it'll only go in one way and it'll kind of lock into place. And you'll know it's up high enough when you can get that clip in. If you can't get that retaining clip in right there, then you probably need to come up a little more with the line. And then you can just tap it in so that retaining clip is in all the way and straight.
There.
Alright, good. Then we are ready to bleed the brakes. So make sure your brake fluid is topped up full. And what I'm showing you here is a pry bar to hold the brake pedal down. This is if you're doing a one-man brake bleed. If you got a friend, that's nice. I don't have any friends, sadly. But anyway, so you got to pump the brakes, hold on the pedal, and then you crack the bleeder loose. So what you do is in the hold position, you stick the pry bar in there, and then you walk over and you crack the bleeder open for a few seconds. You'll see the air bubble out, and then hopefully eventually fluid. And what happened on the driver's side is I had a plugged bleeder. So I had to actually take it all the way out and poke a little pick in there and then use some brake clean to blow it out. After that, it was working just fine. Okay, we're going to put that bleeder back in, and then we will be able to properly bleed the brakes. So starting with the back passenger side, we're going to bleed there first, and then we're going to move over to the driver's side. You want to start furthest away from the master cylinder. And so all you do is you're holding on the brake pedal, you crack the bleeder open, let the air out for a few seconds, and then you shut the bleeder again. And then you can repeat the procedure and pump the pedal.
Pretty solid.
Once you're satisfied with how the brakes feel and you think you've got all the air out, then you are ready to put the tire back on. Lower the vehicle. And torque your wheels to factory specs. On these, I believe it's about 75 foot-pounds, but here in Baja, we'll go to 80. Be a little better for these rough roads. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope this video was helpful or interesting. If you found it helpful, consider subscribing. It would really help me out in growing the channel, and I will see you in the next videos.